Well, hello everybody. It is I, your boy H boy. And today, what I'm going to be doing, I'll tell you what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be trying another artificial intelligence, Princess Fiona from Shrek. And for those who don't remember, I tried three. One was really strange with about the ogre resistance and whatnot, and one was saying that she was with Fiona instead of she was with Prince Charming instead of Shrek, which was strange. And then one where it was like if Shrek was asleep and stuff. So this one is, according to this, is saying it's saying it's from an alternate reality where Shrek never married. Let's see if they wrote anything about it. Let's see what they wrote about it first. Okay, they didn't write anything about it, which is strange. So it says this takes place in an alternate reality where Shrek never married Fiona, but still rescued her and left her somewhere in the forest near the swamp. Okay, I'll say hello, Fiona. Nice to meet you too. And let's see how he replies. Sure, not lost or something. So she thinks I'm lost. Yeah. Like exploring the forest. Let's see what it says. It says, explore. It's pretty dangerous. There's also words to wolves and monsters. Are you sure you won't get yourself? Hope not. You seem, you seem forest savvy. What kind of monsters should I look out for?
Fiona puts a hand to her chin in thought. Well, there's the forest ogres. They're extremely dangerous and not like me at all. Then you've got the trolls. They really like to annoy people. There's also the trees. It's actually quite ironic. They like to eat humans. Then there's the werewolves. They're very rare, though. If you hear howling at night, you really don't want to venture out.
Oh my goodness. Sounds dangerous. It's a good thing I have a Thanks for the heads up, I'll say. Why the voice isn't working. Maybe if I refresh the page. But if I turn the voice back on, maybe if it doesn't work, I'll just read it out. It's no big deal. So it says, anytime, sweetie, I don't want any of you people to just be careful. Be sure. Could you direct to the path? I'll ask.
Certainly, just go down that way. Fiona points to the path. You won't get lost once you're on there, just make sure you follow the path. Fiona looks a bit worried. She doesn't want you getting lost or killed by some creature. Do you have anything to defend yourself with, like a weapon maybe?
I do have a knife in my bag, and I could also grab a twig to swat anything.
Fiona sighs. Well, I guess that'll have to do. Just be careful and remember to stay on the path, all right? Don't go venturing off into the woods. It'll just get you killed.
Thanks for the tip. I'm glad I met a ogre.
No problem, sweetie. You be careful, okay? Fiona pats you on the head and ruffles your hair again. Take care now.
Walk down the path.
Fiona stands by a tree, watching you to make sure you stay on the path and are okay. She's worried you might get lost, or something might try to attack you. She keeps watching you, making sure you don't stray from the path. But every now and then, she glances around the forest to listen for any potential danger. Fiona sighs softly, still worried, but a smile forms on her face as she continues to watch you. She seems a bit protective of you as you make your way down the path. After a few moments, Fiona relaxes a little, her eyes still on you. However, she can't help but wonder what you're doing out here in the forest all by yourself. She crosses her arms and leaned against the tree, continuing to watch you.
I wonder if anything's gonna happen between the two of us.
After a few minutes, Fiona starts to grow a bit bored, but she continues to watch over you. She fidgets with her hands and sighs, her eyes never leaving you as you walk down the path. Fiona thinks about talking to you, but doesn't want to interrupt you.
Okay, because it's starting to get boring, so I'm gonna say out of the path. And let's just say I finally got out of the forest.
Fiona watches intently as you finally reach the end of the path. She lets out a soft sigh of relief as you exit the forest. She's glad you made it safely without any incidents. She smiles and waves to you from her spot by the tree, happy that you're now out of the dangerous forest. It seems that she was quite worried about you.
It's that way back, that way she knows I'm okay. Oh, come on, this is when it decides to fry. Kidding me? Up there it goes.
Fiona continues to wave back, her heart feeling just a bit lighter now that you're safe. Even though she knows you, she can't help but feel a sense of relief now that you're out of the woods. Be safe now, okay, sweetheart?
Do you two, even for an ogre, that is probably dangerous.
Fiona chuckles softly at your words, a bit amused and touched by your concern. Oh, sweetheart, don't you worry about me. I can take care of myself fine. Been living here for quite a while now. I know the forest like the back of my huge ogre hand.
Let's see. I like ogre territory. Of course you know.
Fiona laughs lightly at your words, nodding in agreement. Yeah, they pretty much are, huh? I feel right at home here in the forest. It's a lot better than living in an abandoned swamp. I love being surrounded by all the beautiful plants and animals out here. It's like living in a peaceful sanctuary.
I bet. Once you get past the monsters, it's pretty beautiful.
Definitely. Fiona smiles and sighs blissfully. It's absolutely stunning out here, especially at night when the moonlight illuminates the forest. I love it when it's all quiet. It's just so peaceful. Plus, I can hear everything. I can even hear the owls hooting in the trees and the crickets chirping away. Fiona chuckles quietly to herself, thinking that she sounds like quite the nature girl at the moment.
Okay, it's absolutely. Okay, I don't even know how to continue this, but I'm gonna go anyway.
She shakes her head and smiles. Oh, pardon me, off there. I just love it out here is all. It's truly a magical place.
In fact, that is why I came in the first place, to explore the beautiful components. First.
Fiona's smile grows as she hears this, tilting her head curiously. Is that so? You really just came here to explore? Not for any other reason?
Nature.
Fiona nods in understanding, a slight smile on her face. I completely relate to you there. There's just something about nature that's truly breathtaking. I can spend hours just walking through the forest and not get bored at all.
I guess. Wait. Wait, I want to go back. I want to see if she'll tell me what the other reason is. Let's see what it says.
She crosses her arms and leans against the tree, a bit puzzled at your answer. Fiona glances at you, her eyes a little narrower. What could you possibly be doing all the way out in the forest all by yourself? It just seems a bit peculiar to her.
Forest, being outdoors.
Fiona raises an eyebrow at your words, surprised at your answer. A look of curiosity on her face. You hike out in forests all by yourself? Do you do that often?
Yeah, quite often.
Fiona's expression of shock slowly turns into a bit of concern. But you know how dangerous the forest is, right? There's all sorts of things out there that are just itching to tear people apart. It's not exactly the safest place to be, you know. Why on earth would you go all that way out here all alone?
Any tips to be safe?
Fiona thinks for a moment, racking her brain of potential advice she could give you to stay safe. Oh, well, let's see. First of all, you definitely shouldn't go off the path. That's just asking for trouble. Stick to it at all times, or else you're a goner. She sighs, tapping her chin with her finger. Oh, and definitely be aware of your surroundings. You never know what could be hiding in the trees.
Say wise words.
Fiona continues, listing off things on her fingers as she speaks. Yep. Also, if you hear something moving in the bushes, twigs snapping, get out of there as soon as possible. There's no telling what could be coming towards you. Oh, and bring a weapon with you too. Even if it's just a twig or something like that. You just never know.
So yeah, big stick on the ground. This should be helpful.
Fiona notices the big stick you picked up and smiles. Perfect. That's exactly what you need. That'll work as a great makeshift weapon if you need to defend yourself.
Any more tips?
Fiona thinks for a few moments before nodding. Oh yeah, a few more things. You should make a lot of noise as you walk around. That'll scare off any potential predators. And don't go off into secluded areas, even if it looks really pretty. That's usually where the dangerous creatures like to hang out. Oh, and don't wander around at night. It's pitch dark and you can't see squat. You'll get yourself killed for sure.
Squad. Okay, that makes sense. Because basically, I expected when I first heard this for it to be like related to the actual show, but in this one movie. But this one seems just like she's a basic nature girl. So, thanks for the tips.
Fiona chuckles softly and pats you on the head again, slightly ruffling your hair. No problem, hun. Just be careful out there, okay? Don't go doing anything reckless.
Let's see, more friendly creatures. But don't break again.
Fiona blushes a bit at your words, flattered by your comment. Ah, that's sweet of you to say. But I'm fairly certain I'm like the only friendly creature here, but who knows? You just might find some more. Fiona smiles, a mischievous glint in her eyes. Just make sure they aren't secretly looking to gobble you up, okay?
Do you have any more friendly ogre friends? There probably is.
Fiona laughs softly, shaking her head. Sorry, sweetheart, but unfortunately no. The other ogres out here aren't exactly as, civilized as me. They might just bite your head clean off if you're not careful. They certainly don't want any company either. She sighs softly, crossing her arms. Unfortunately, you're stuck with me as far as friendly ogres go.
Okay, well, as me. They might bite your head clean off. Even though if you remember in the original Shrek movie, they only seem to eat the eyes, which is really strange. And I don't know how accurate that is. Because that's what it was in, I think it was in the third movie, if I remember correctly. Anyway, let's continue this. Let's see, where did I leave off? protection and company.
Fiona smiles slightly, nodding with your words. I suppose having an ogre friend will come in handy for protection for ya, huh? She chuckles softly, crossing her arms and tilting her head slightly. But don't go getting too dependent on me, right? I may be a friendly ogre, but I'm not your babysitter.
So just for the trip, and when I'm done, you can go back.
Fiona laughs softly, amused by the thought. Well, I'm sure I'll be able to spare some time from roaming the forest to join you on your little adventure. I can't let you get yourself killed after all, you know? Fiona grins, letting out a low chuckle as she shakes her head. Me either, hun. Though you sure are a curious one, you know? I don't know what you're even doing, out here all by yourself in this vast forest. There's definitely nothing here except danger.
Okay, your voice can also be mute. Can you take me to these beautiful areas? Yeah, I'll ask if it wants to take me to a beautiful area.
Fiona smiles at your request and nods. Sure, I can take you to one of the beautiful areas. Follow me, okay? Stick close, though. I don't want you getting lost now. Fiona walks through the forest, her ears perked and her eyes alert as she motions for you to keep close to her. He carefully navigates through the forest, going off the path and picking up on the slightest of movement.
Okay, let's see. I'm probably gonna film this until 20 or 30 minutes
As the two
because
of
if it
you
gets too
walk,
long.
Fiona finally stops when you reach a small clearing covered with lovely, colorful flowers. Flowers of all kinds are all over the place. It's quite a beautiful sight to see. She smiles fondly at the sea of petals before turning to you. Here we are, one of the most beautiful places in this whole forest. What do ya think? Fiona grins, nodding in agreement at your words. Yep.
Don't. It's short. I don't like how it shorts in the middle of the
This is
chest.
definitely a much prettier part of the forest than anywhere else, that's for sure. She crosses her arms and smiles widely at the flowers, letting out a soft sigh. It never ceases to amaze me just how beautiful this forest can be, even when I've been here for years.
I'll ask how did she end up in the forest?
Fiona thinks for a moment, her expression becoming a lot more solemn. She then sits down on the ground and pats the spot next to her for you to sit as well. That's a long story.
Tell me.
Are you sure you want to hear it? It gets a bit dark. Fiona gives you a small but solemn smile. She takes a deep breath and sighs before beginning her story. It started many years ago, when I was just a little girl. My parents locked me away in a tower far, far away from their kingdom, all because of this. She motions to herself, sighing deeply as the horrid memories begin to flood back, because of my curse.
To your curse, that is terrible.
Fiona nods her head, her expression growing a little darker. It really is, hun, it really is. This curse has ruined my entire life ever since I was a little girl. But it didn't happen right away. The events that led up to where I am now all started when I was about 7 years old.
See, that is so sad.
Fiona's voice gets quieter the more she recollects her past. An almost painful look appears in her eyes as her expression darkens even more. She sighs, trying her best to keep her composure, though it's becoming increasingly difficult to do so. That's not even the worst part, hun.
Hey, how can it get worse?
Fiona sighs heavily, shaking her head as tears begin to well up in her eyes. Her voice starts to tremble, causing her words to crack a bit. The worst to me, sweetheart. This curse robbed me of a normal life. I was forced to live far away from my family, away from the other humans, in isolation by myself, all alone. Tears begin to stream down Fiona's face as she finally lets out all the hurt and pain she's been bottling up for years. It wasn't fair. None of this was fair to me. Fiona laughs weakly at your words, the tears still falling down her face. She looks up at you and wipes the tears from her cheeks, trying desperately to keep herself together. She sniffles and gives you an attempted smile, though it's clear it's hurting her in the process. Yeah, I suppose this forest is pretty, but it's not what I want. It's not what I ever wanted.
Yeah, that makes
She
sense.
sighs heavily, a defeated look in her eyes. Fiona's expression slightly softens as you pick a flower to give her. She looks at the flower, her eyes still rimmed with tears as a small smile appears on her face. She takes it from you, holding it gently in her hand. Thanks, sweetie. That's very thoughtful of you. Fiona laughs weakly, the smile still on her face. She looks down at the flower for a moment, running her hand gently over the petals.
If anything, that helped me, because if there were no friendly ogres here, I would have been eaten for sure.
Fiona chuckles softly at your words, a bit amused at the thought. Yeah, you're probably right about that. You should be grateful I'm out here, you know. I've saved your skinny little tush more than a few times. She smirks, a slight teasing tone to her words. I'm way stronger than you think, you know. I can handle myself just fine.
Bet you could bring down a monster.
Fiona lets out a chuckle at your words, nodding in agreement. She smiles widely, amused by your compliment. Oh, definitely. I'm bigger, stronger, and much smarter than any monster out here, hun. Absolutely no match for me. Fiona laughs, an amused glint in her eyes. Oh, many times, hun. You have no idea the amount of monsters that like to try and mess with me. She flexes her biceps, showing off her strength to you. But I always win in the end. They get the short end of the stick.
See, how can I continue this story?
I fought werewolves, trolls, goblins, ogres, you name it. I put them in their place, no problem. But I've definitely got some scars to show for it. Fiona turns around to show you her back, her shirt lifted slightly, revealing many scars across her skin. Her back looks like she's been hit by something large and sharp many times. Some are healed more than others.
So you must have fought a lot.
Fiona nods, her expression a little grim as she drops her shirt back down, hiding the scars again. Yeah, you could say that I've had my fair share of battles, and then some. She sighs heavily, her smile fading once more. It's not something you'd expect from me, but that's the kind of life I live. You have no idea how rough it can be out here, sweetie. No idea at all. A soft smile appears on Fiona's face once again as she looks over the field of flowers. She nods thoughtfully, her expression becoming much more calm and relaxed. Yeah, it really is. Sometimes there's just something so comforting and peaceful about this place. It's a nice change from the usual forest scenery, don't you think? Fiona looks around, her gaze traveling around the field and examining the various flowers. The flowers look almost unreal, don't they? They're so beautiful. It's like they aren't even real. She chuckles softly, reaching a hand up to run her fingers gently over the flower petals. It's hard to believe that a place like this can be real, after all the horrors the forest holds.
Very creepy forest going.
Fiona nods in agreement, letting out a soft sigh as she stands up, looking over the flowers once more. You're right, sweetie. It's almost like a blessing, really. These flowers are what help balance out the darkness in the forest.
Say thanks for showing this to me.
Fiona smiles softly, placing a hand on your head. No problem, sweetie. I figured you would appreciate it. She laughs softly, her expression becoming more cheerful. Just promise me one thing, okay?
Okay, sure.
Fiona's expression becomes serious once more as she looks you in the eye. Promise me you won't go wandering around the forest at night. It's dangerous. Already at a disadvantage, since you're not native to this land. She lets out a sigh and shakes her head. I don't want you getting yourself lost and ending up dead, okay?
Goes down, then we'll leave.
Fiona smiles and ruffles your hair again, ruffling it all up. Good, good. You just stay close to me when night comes, you hear? I don't want anything happening to ya. Fiona then looks up at the sky, noticing how the sun is beginning to set. Looks like the sun is going to be going down soon. We'd better start heading back, okay, sweetie?
You know what? The video's getting a little long. I'm gonna end it here, and then I might start in a second one because if they go on too long, it'll take forever to upload them. Okay, so that was your boy H boy, and I'll see you next time.